So, good day everyone! Why do we need to measure a complete rotation around a circle? As being 360 degrees about it? The number 360 degrees is a bit arbitrary. For instance, it might seem easier for everyone to agree that a complete rotation is 100 degrees, with the right rotation being 25 degrees and a half rotation being 50. But that's not the measurement we use. So where did the 360 standard come from? The origin comes from the first time that people needed to accurately measure angles when they looked up to the sky and charted the movement of heavenly bodies. Ancient people all around the world developed various ingenious methods of measuring the movement of the sun, earth and moon in order to design calendars. The problem with making a calendar is that the rate that earth rotates to make a day and the time it takes to orbit the sun to make a year. And the pieces of moon don't all fit together as nice, clean pieces. Among the ancient people who faced this challenge were the Babylons. They created highly accurate calendar based on the phases of the moon, which lasts between 29 and 30 days. When they worked to fit these lunar months into a year, they made a system of long and short years, not that different than our current convention of a leap year, to keep things clean and simple. The Babylonians also made an informal, ideal calendar that was made of 12 months, lasting 30 days to make a 360 day a year. This was also convenient for them because their number system was based on 60, unlike our numbers today that build on the pattern of 10. Babylonians built their number system on the pattern of 60, and 360 fit nicely into that pattern. Following this method of breaking a year into 12 pieces, they also broke the length of a day into 12 pieces called a biru, making their version of an hour. They then broke the 12 biru into 30 pieces called as, making their version of a minute. This gave a total of 360 as in a one day, meaning that over the course of a day, the sun took 360 as to make one complete rotation in the sky. In the 2nd century BCE, the Greek astronomer Hipparchus began studying Babylonian astronomy. As he applied further geometric calculation to their work, he started using their division by 360 to describe the degrees of rotation around a circle, and that unit has stuck with us through the millennia. However, just because we know how we end up with 360 doesn't necessarily make it the most convenient solution. The scale of 360 is based on the movement of the sun, earth, and moon, and it might be more useful to base a unit of measurement on the circle itself. If you take the radius of the circle, the distance that radiates out from the center to the outer edge, use this as unit of measurement. We can take the radius length and wrap it around a circle, an angle that opens up to 1 radius can describe as being an angle of 1 radian. The radius simply acts as our measuring stick. Extending on around, we see that a flat angle spans a little more than 3 radii. This quantity is a value we call pi, which is a value that starts with 3.14 and continues on forever. So a 180 degree angle equals pi radians. A complete rotation around a circle extends out a little more than 6 radii, or 2 pi radians now. It may seem like we just made this weird and complicated again, since a radian is based on a Greek letter that represents a decimal value that never ends. But the value of pi is intrinsically rooted in how a circle is formed, so it's a natural basis for measurement. When you work with patterns in circle and angles, radians give us an elegant, clean system to work with, which is why it's used intensively in engineering and higher level math. Just as you can choose to measure length in inches or centimeters, or temperature in Fahrenheit or Celsius, you can measure angles in degrees or radians. And radians give us a clean system of measurement. It's based on the nature of a circle. So now, we will tackle about the arc length with teacher John Michael.
Okay, class, may I have your attention, please? So, who in this class knows what our topic today is? Yes, April?
Is it pizza, sir?
No, very close.
Can I answer?
Yes, Earl?
The Arcland?
Very good, Earl. Our topic is all about the Arcland. Now, may I ask you a question? What do you think is the shape where Arcland is part of?
A square?
No, Earl, it's not a square. Yes, Shimaya.
Is it a circle?
Very good, it is a circle. May you try to answer, Shimaya? Okay, so now, what is a circle? A circle is the set of all points in a plane that are at a fixed distance from a central point. So there are four parts of a circle. We have first the center. Now the center is, where do you find the center?
Center.
In the middle?
In the middle. Very good, Shimaya. So a center is a fixed point inside the circle. Now another part we call is the radius. Now the radius is the distance from the center to any point of the circle. So we have here an example of a circle with a radius. Now here is the center point, and this is the end point of the circle. So we call it a radius because it only begins in the center point until the end point of a circle. Now another part of a circle is what we call diameter. Now if we extend this line from the end point to the opposite side, now we have what we call a diameter. A diameter is a line that passes through the center and connects 2 points on the circle. And we also have the circumference, the distance around the circle. In this example, you can see the black line here. That is what we call the circumference. So those are all the parts of a circle. Any questions?
Sir, what's that pizza for?
Good question, April. Now this pizza is part of our topic. Do you remember what our topic is?
The Arcland?
Arcland.
Very good, the arc length. Now in an arc length, you need a arc. Arc is a part of the circumference between 2 points. Now we have here an example of an arc. Now its 2 points is from this one and this one. Now you can see that it goes around but it stops there. It doesn't form a circle. That's what we call an arc length. So we have 2 parts of a arc. Now do you see that there are 2 sizes of a pizza here?
Yes.
Now we have 2 sizes. The small one is what we call the minor arc. Now this is an arc measuring less than 180 degrees. How many degrees?
Less than 180.
Very good. Now the bigger part of the pizza is what we call the major arc. An arc measuring more than 180 degrees. How much more?
More than 180.
Very good. So that is the parts of an arc. But we have another special part of an arc. Do you see it in the board?
The dragon fruit?
Very good. That is the dragon fruit. Now this is what we call the semicircle. It is an arc measuring exactly 180 degrees. So that is all about the arc.
Sir, is that a protractor right there?
Oh, this one? Okay, what do you think this looks similar to?
Sir,
Okay.
it looks like the dragon fruit.
Very good. It looks like a dragon fruit. Now, what do you think that means if it is an arc? Yes, April.
Is it an arc that measures 180 degrees? Exactly 180 degrees.
Very good. It is an arc that measures exactly 180 degrees. So, Earl, what do you think you call this one? It is called?
Semicircle.
Very good. So that is what an arc is. It has 3 parts, which is the major arc, the minor arc, and the semicircle. What do you think 360 degrees of a circle is equivalent to?
A 1 pi?
Very good. 1 pi or a 1 circle. Now, if we have 180 degrees is equals to 1 semicircle. 360 degrees means 2 semicircles, which is equals to 1 circle. So that is what is radians and degrees is. So we have a table here that shows how we convert radians to degrees. Now if we have pi over 2 or pi divided by 2, this means that it is 90 degrees. Now if we have 1 pi, this is equals to 180 degrees. And if we have 2 times pi, it is equals to 360 degrees. Now, so what do you think pi divided by 4 is equals to in degrees? Yes, April? Okay, any answer?
Is it 45 degrees, sir?
Very good, April. Can you give April a round of applause, please? Pi divided by 4 is equals to 45 degrees, which is half of 90 degrees. Now let's move on to our last part of our topic, which is the arc length or the arc lengths, the distance along the arc. Now I have explained to you that arc length is the measure between 2 points of the circumference of a circle. So that is what arc length is. Now let's move on to the formulas. Now in formulas, we have 2 forms. We have the formula for degrees and we have the formula for radians. Now let's start with the degrees. We have S is equals to theta over 360 degrees times 2 times pi times r. So that is the formula for the degrees. Now we have the formula for the radians. Radians is only S is equals to R times theta. What are those symbols all about? We have first the theta. Theta means the angle in degrees. Now you see here that we need an angle in degree in this formula, and we also see here an angle needed for the radians. Now any angle that you see, the central angle of a circle, this is where you input it. Now we have R for radius. Now R here, there's R here and there's R here. That's for the radius of the circle. So if you have seen a measurement of a radius, this is where you put the formula or the measurement. And we have S, which is equals to the arc length. So S basically means the arc length of a arc.
Sir, what is the use of 2 pi r in the degree formula?
Okay, good question, Shemaya. Now 2 pi r is just equals to 1 diameter times pi in a circle. So either you use the diameter method or the radius method. So that's all for the degree formula.
Sir, I'm wondering, is that the formula of the circumference of a circle, the 2 pi r?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, 2 pi r is just equivalent to the circumference of a circle. So you can use this formula or you can calculate for the circumference first before you input it in the formula.
Sir,
Yes, Ryan?
can you give us an example of how to solve the arc length?
Okay, very good. Now, can I ask Earl to get the whiteboard please so we can solve the example for the arc length?
Okay, teacher.
Thank you so much, Earl. So, I will now give you an example on how to solve an arc length. So, we have here a circle. Now, let's say we have a sector here. Now, we want to solve the arc length here. Let's put a question mark here. We have here a problem, which we need to find the arc length. So, the arc length is S, and it has the radius of 3, and we have the angle of 90 degrees. Now, we are going to solve it using the degree form of formula. So we have here S is equals to theta over 360 times 2 pi r. To solve this, we need to input all the measurement. First, we have the angle, which is 90 degrees. So we need to input that in the theta. get the 90 degrees, and then over 360 degrees. And then you need to multiply that into 2 times pi times r, or we have the 3 over here. And then we need to solve it first. So to solve it, we need to simplify it. 90 over 360 degrees is equals to 1 over 4. And 2 pi r is just equals to 2 times pi times 3. And to simplify it more, we need to multiply the 2 pi r, which is 6 pi and 1 over 4. Or simply, it is S is equals to 6 over 4 times pi. So this is the measurement for the arc length of this problem. So that's how we solve it using the degree formula. Now, any questions? Yes, Maya?
Sir, can you solve it using radians?
Okay. Now we are going to solve it using the radian method. So here is the formula for the radian. Now the formula for the radian is simply S is equals to R times the theta. Now first, we need to convert the 90 degrees since it is not in radian form. So 90 degrees is equals to pi over 2, which is found in our table. Now we have all the measurement we needed. So S is equals to the radius, which is 3 times pi over 2. And to solve it, we need to simplify. S is equals to 3 times pi equals 3 times pi over 2, which is equivalent to 4.7. Same here. Now that we know how to solve using the two formulas in solving the arc length, we move on now to the proportionality in arc length. Now here we can see two examples. The larger angle is equals to the longer arc, and the larger radius is longer arc. It is shown in this example. As you can see, if we focus in the orange circle, we can see that the smaller the radius, you can see that the arc is smaller. But if we expand it into the yellow circle, the end point of the yellow circle, we can see that it is proportionally longer than the small circle. The same goes when we talk about angles. Now in angles, you can see here that this angle here is much larger than the angle here. As you can see, the larger the angle, the longer the arc is. That's all for today's lesson, which is the arc length. See you soon, guys!